Hi everyone. So Fontrodden's recent video, the RPG cocktail, got me thinking about what it is that I really like in role-playing. He talked about that there are three main categories that everybody likes a mix of. Most GMs and players have a preference. So that's between story, world, and game. And that got me thinking, and personally, I am much more of a story person. I really enjoy when characters have character arcs where it's not just, okay, I'm trying to solve a puzzle and once the puzzle's done, that's it. I like a little bit more emotional connection with what's going on. The world to me is really important. It's probably the second most, but it's there to help facilitate the story. You couldn't have the story without having a world. The game aspect for me is still very important, but it's more of just the mechanics for how is this story told, and it's something of when it works really well, I just kind of forget about the game for the most part, and when it's not working well, that's when I notice it and kind of like, no. This also got me thinking that those three things, story, world, and what I'm going to actually refer to as mechanics instead of games, so it's less confusing, are kind of like a three-legged stool. A three-legged stool has to have all three legs to stand. You could have one that's a different height, or you could have all three a different height, and it's still going to stand. It might, tilt you in a different direction and give you a different perspective on the room. But as long as all three of them are there, it stands. It's a stool. If you're missing one, it's no longer a stool. You can't really sit on it. With that in mind, I think all three of these things are super important, and you can't have one without the other. Now, you could certainly prioritize what is the most important for you, but without all three, it's not going to work. You need a world for it to happen in, otherwise you're just floating in a black void, and that's not going to work. Or that's your world. You need the mechanics that tell you how you do things, and you need the story. Even if you don't plan to have a story, you'll end up with a story, even if it's just, oh, they go into a dungeon and they search for treasure. A story's going to come out of that. It's kind of taking the who, what, why, where, when, and how and applying it to RPGs. Who? The players, you guys. Why? Because you want to have fun. It's something you enjoy. The where and the when is the world. Where is this taking place? When is this within that world? How is the game mechanics? How are you actually going to play the game? How are your characters going to do things? And the what is the story, is what's happening. So that's just kind of where my brain went to when I saw this question. I'm interested to know what other people's priorities are. Are you a story person? Are you a world person? Or are you a game person? And I'm gonna post a link to Fontrodden's first video that sparked this, down below. I'm gonna do a couple of video responses to a few other channels soon. That was just one that I couldn't get out of my head. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!